So we're gonna do the polls today, but we're gonna go gentle because it's unbelievably hot outside. So even though it's nice and cold in here, we don't want to overwork, melt our brains. So, all right. So let's start with our cat and cow. So you can have the pole straight in front of you, hand below the shoulder line. And we're gonna bend the knees, dip the chin. This is our exhale cat. On the inhale, straighten up, looking up, cow. And then back to cat. And just back and forth between the two, letting the spine warm up. Excellent. Do one or two more in each direction. Nice. And then back to neutral. Let's do, we're going to warm up the feet a little bit next, and then we'll go back to warming up the spine. So you can have the pole in one hand, or if you don't need it, you can set it aside. And what we'll do is start with the arches. So the big toe side, we're gonna make like a suction cup, pulling the big toe towards the heel so the arch gets higher, strengthening those muscles around there. And then relax it, pull it up, relax, pull it up, nice. And then we'll do the outside arch, pinky toe side, pull that up, relax it, pull it up. A couple of times on that side. Nice. And then release that. You can shake it out. So this may be uncomfortable, or you may not be able to do it based on how tight the top of your foot is. But we're going to send the toes under and stretch out the top of the foot. So you may just like have to just do it gently, or put the foot further back. Don't overdo it. If you're making faces because it hurts, that means you went too far. All right, release that. You can shake it out. And then if you want, you can do the toes and then back and forth. Excellent. And then make circles. So you're kind of coming over the top of the toes if you can. If you can't, that's okay. Just making those circles and then shake it out. And then let's do the other side, starting with the arches. So we're going to go big toe side, pulling in that suction cup and then release it. Excellent. Release that side, and then we'll do the pinky toe side. Contract and relax. Excellent. Release that, and then we're going to come onto the tops of the toes, stretching out the front of the foot. And then from here, if you want to do side to side, and then come into those circles. Excellent. And then shake it out. Nice. All right, for our back to the spine, for our laterals, we're going to bring the pole on one side. We'll do one side at a time. You pick, doesn't matter. So we're going to inhale, bring the other arm up and over. So you're maybe not going all the way to the pole. That's okay. Exhale, bring it back. Just take your time. As you warm up, maybe you go a little further, and that's fine. And maybe you don't, and that's fine too. And let's do one more. Excellent. And then switching sides. Inhale, we're gonna bring this arm up and over. Exhale, bring it back. Excellent. Let's do one more. Nice. And then back to center. All right, next one is our twist. So if you're close to your neighbor, you might want to stagger. Or if they deserve it, just hit them harder. Okay. All right, so arms out in front. It can be anywhere that feels good, and then just side to side. Or if you want to do inhale to the center, exhale to the side, to slow it down a little bit. Excellent. All right, so back to center. Next, let's do dolphin pose. So it's similar to that cat and cow we started with, but we're moving the head a little bit more. So feet can be nice and wide. Pull is in the center, hands, I don't want them below the shoulder, not too low, somewhere around there. All right, and so with dolphin, the head dips below the arms. This is the exhale, and then inhale coming back up. And again, nice and slow. Excellent. One or two more. Awesome sauce. All right. So let's see. Let's go ahead and do this one. So we're gonna bring the pole on the back of the neck. So we're kind of hitting C7 if you know your numbers. So basically where the neck meets the top of the thoracic spine, wrists are draped over, and we're just gonna make small little circles. And then when you're ready, we're gonna reverse. Nice small little circles. Excellent. All right, release that. Now we're gonna take the pole, and it's kind of easier to bring it back in front and then bring it down. So now we're gonna go down to about the sacrum, so top of the pelvic bone up here. And then we're gonna bring the hands out, palms are facing forward, and we're just gonna make nice little circles with the hips. Excellent. And then when you're ready, we're going to reverse. Excellent. All right, we're going to release that one, and then hands are going to come in towards the body a little bit closer, and you can take the elbows and bring them closer together too. And then we're going to do a little baby back bend. So we haven't really done much in this direction, so just be careful and don't go too far. All right, so we're basically just using our gaze. So we're going to start looking straight ahead, and then as we inhale, we're going to look up towards the ceiling, just as far as is comfortable, and then exhale back to neutral. Nice. Again, inhale, looking up. You can bend the knees a little bit. Exhale, bring it back. And let's do that one more time. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, bring it back. Nice. All right, so let's bring the arms, release the pole, and we're going to do a half sun salutation to counter pose that. Don't have to use the pole. I'm going to use the pole with straight arms. So you can do it however you usually do it, or you can do it like this. All right, so we start, this is our start position. On the inhale, we're going to bring the arms up. Exhale, hinging at those hip joints, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. The hands can come to the front of the thighs. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to bend the knees nice and deep. Inhale, arms to the ears, and then all the way up. And then hands come down. Nice. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms to the ears, all the way up. And exhale down. Nice. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms to the ears, coming all the way up. And then exhale. Done. Nice. All righty. Let's see. All right, let's do big arms, and then we'll do warrior 1. All right, so we're gonna grab the pole. I'm gonna start with the pole up above the head, and then we're making, kind of looks like kayak movements, but it's not really what it is. Just big around the head movements. If that's too much on the shoulders, you can just do it in front. Cardio kayak, is that? Sounds pretty good. Excellent. And then let's reverse direction. So I always start with the easier one, so I feel a little awkward on the second go around. Excellent. All right, let's release that one. Shake it out. And then we're going to come into our warrior 1. All right, so pole is in the opposite hand of the foot that's in front. And let's start with warming up that knee first. So hand can be on the hip or down by your side. Or inhale, straight leg. Exhale, bend. Excellent. We're going to push off, step back, or step that back foot forward. And then switch hands and feet. Inhale, straight leg. Exhale, bend. Excellent. Push off, step back, or step that back foot forward. Right, back to the first side. So we're going to do the fold with this. If you don't need a pole, that's totally fine. You can have it in the opposite hand, I think. We'll see. All right, here we go. So we're going to inhale that arm up. Exhale, fold forward. Arm sweeps down. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. Exhale, arm comes down, straighten the leg. Next, let's do that a couple times. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Arm sweeps down. Inhale, bring that arm up. And then exhale, back down. And again, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, down. So we're going to do a whole nother round of that. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, down. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Sweep the arm down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, down. And one last time. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Arm sweeps down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, done. Nice. All right, step the feet together. Switch hands and feet. And ready, here we go. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. That arm sweeps down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, down. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Arm sweeps down. Inhale, arm comes back up. Exhale, down. One more round. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, down. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, done. Nice. All right, step the feet back together. Shake it out. All right. Let's see. All right, let's do warrior two, and then we'll do triangle. All right, so for warrior two, the pole is in the back. We're going to bend this front knee over that front ankle. And then the other hand comes out in front, gazes over those front fingers. Hold this for a breath or two. Excellent. All right, so let's do some moving here. We're going to bend that front elbow. Forearm comes to that front thigh, so our side angle pose. On the inhale, we're going to bring that front arm up towards the ceiling. If you've got your balance, you want to reach back for your pole, you can do that. Excellent. Exhale again, side angle pose. Coming forward. Inhale, bring it back up to peaceful warrior. One more time through side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Excellent. Back to warrior two. And then we'll drop the arm and step the feet back together. Shake them out if you need. You're going to switch hands and feet. Front knee over that front ankle. This other hand is out in front. Take a breath or two here. Excellent. Bend that forearm. Comes down to that front thigh, side angle pose. On your next inhale, windmill around to peaceful warrior. The hand can come up towards the ceiling or bring it back towards your pole. Again, exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And one more time through. Exhale, side angle pose. And inhale, peace forward. Nice. Back to warrior two. Drop the arms and step the feet back together. Excellent. All right, check it out. So, what did I say next? Triangle. All right. So in theory, this front knee is straight, but you are welcome to put as much of a bend into it as you like or need. And then let's see. We're going to bring this top arm up and over. So we've got both hands on the pole. The lower hand drops down towards the floor. And then you can look down towards the floor or up towards the horizon, or if you have your balance up towards the ceiling. So any of those options. Excellent. And then to come up, we're going to slowly walk our hands up, bend that front knee, and then step the feet together. All right, let's do the other side. You're going to bring this back arm up and over, walk that lower hand down. You can look at the floor or towards the horizon. Take a few breaths here. Excellent. Bend that front knee, walk the hands back up, and then step the feet back together. Excellent. All right, check it out. Let's do, we'll do a high lunge, and then we'll do all of our fun, advanced balance poses. All right, so starting with our high lunge, let's see. So a couple ways to get into it. You can, of course, do it without the pole. And then second option is you can step forward into the lunge, or you can step backward into the lunge. Stepping backward is probably a little bit more of a challenge. Might not be. So your choice. So if you want to do the step back, you're going to lift one knee up and then step back, and then bring the arms up. So that's one option. Or if you want to do stepping forward and then lift the pole. So those are the options. All right, I'm going to step backwards. All right, so here we go. So we're going to step into the lunge. Inhale, bring the pole up. Excellent. And then exhale, bring the pole down and step the feet together. Let's do 3 times each side. All right, second time, same leg. Inhale, pull up. And then exhale, back. Nice. Last time. Step the foot in. Inhale, pull up. And then exhale back. Nice. All right. Let's do the other side. Step into it. Inhale, lift the pole. And then exhale back. And step in. Oops. Got ahead of myself there. Inhale, lift the pole. And then exhale, come back. And one more time. Step in. Inhale. And then exhale, coming up. Nice. All right. All right, so let's start with tree. You can do it without the pole, of course. With the pole, if you want, you can do a little higher up on the leg if you want. If you want to keep both feet on the floor, that's fine too. So starting with 1 foot, root that into the floor, and then you can start with the kickstand or tripod feet. If you have your balance and you want, bring that foot up higher on the calf or up above the knee. We just don't want to be pushing on the knee. If you've been watching any soccer, that's like, that knee joint is not like designed to go like this as much as like this. So if you're pushing on it, not great for it. All right, So then you've got this other arm. You can do whatever you like. You can keep it moving with the breath. Inhale and exhale. You can leave it on the hip or at the heart or whatever feels good. Excellent. Take one more breath here. Nice. And then coming out, you can shake the legs, shake the arms, whatever you like. So you can switch sides with the pole or not, doesn't matter. But we're going to root that other foot down. Feel all four corners of the foot, maybe like really concentrate on what the toes are doing. You can start with kickstand or tripod. If you have your balance and you want, you can bring that foot up higher. Other thing I didn't say the first time around is we're pushing in. So the straight leg is pushing into the foot is pushing into that leg. So we can bring this other arm up or out, whatever you like. When I have the pole, I like to do the breath with the moving. Excellent. One more breath. Nice release. And if you like, you can shake it out. All right, so let's do our pigeon next. Everybody likes a pigeon. All right. So whichever foot you started on with the last one, maybe start with a different one this time, just to change it up a little bit. It's okay if you don't, just a suggestion. All right, so we're gonna root this foot, bend the knee, so we're making a little shelf. And we're gonna take this ankle or foot of the opposite foot on that little shelf. Pole can be in either hand, doesn't matter. And then the loose hand can be hand on your hip or at the heart or wherever feels comfortable. So we're kind of sitting a little bit here. So if we're up here like this, it's not as difficult as our little pigeon perch. Gotta breathe. Excellent. And then when you're ready, we're going to exhale and fold forward if you want. Otherwise, you can stay up where you're at or obviously come out. So this is our sleeping pigeon with the arm hanging. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, we're going to push that foot down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale. And release. And shake it out. All right. Other foot. You can switch sides with the pole, but you don't have to. We're going to bend that knee, make our little shelf, and bring that ankle or foot on the other side. Hand can be on the hip. So the spine is straight, but we have a little bit of a bend in the knee and maybe a little bit in the hip, but it doesn't have to be super deep yet. And again, you can do this without the pole if you want, but might be a little bit much. All right, if you want to come into sleeping pigeon, you can do that. So we're hinging at this hip joint. That's an exhale. This other arm can dangle down. Or you can stay up in a upright, awake pigeon. Excellent. All right, when you're ready to come up, push the foot into the floor, coming up the straight spine, and shake it out. Whew. All right. Warrior 3 or dancer next? Warrior 3. All right. Sorry. So options with the Warrior 3. You can do it without the pole. You can do it with a chair. 2 options with a chair as well. All right, so with the chair, you can do the seat with the hands. Sorry, some rocks on my feet. Maybe those are Cheerios, I don't know. Okay, so we're about torso distance from the chair, and we're lifting one leg up. So that's option A. Option B, kind of almost off screen, like this. So we're up higher. So that's your options with the chair. And then we'll show you with the pole. All right, it doesn't matter which hand the pole is in. Foot gets rooted. You can do the arms out to the side, or you can do the arms in front. All right, so you guys ready? So we're hinging at that hip joint. Toes are behind us, and then we're gonna lift that leg up. And then the arms can come out. You can hold on to a pole or not. Out to the side or forward, or even back by your side. So 3 options with the arms. I like that one today. All right. So take another breath or so here. And then to come down, bring the leg down and then come up to standing. Excellent. All right, shake that straight leg out at least. And then we're going to switch sides. Pole can be in the same side, or you can switch sides with the pole. We'll start with the toes back behind us, and then get your arms in position. And then we're going to lift that back leg up. Keeping the breath going. And again, you can do the arms wherever you like. Forward, out to the side, back by the side body. I think I said breathe, but I'll say it again. Excellent. And then to come down, bring the toes down, and then stand up. Excellent. All right, check it out. All right, so now is dancer. I actually have some straps, miraculously. If anybody wants a strap, I can show you how to do this with a strap. So you can use the pole for one hand, and then I'll show you the strap. If you can't reach your leg, it's okay. That's why we have tools. All right, so what you're gonna do is hook the foot in the strap, and you just hold it like this. That can be your dancer pose, just like that. Other option, if you have a chair instead of a strap, you can bring this chin up on the chair and then walk it forward so the knee is off the chair. You probably can't see that on the... So we're getting that same elevation. And then this is the muscle group that we're working on, the quads. Okay, so those are 2 options. If anybody wants a strap, I can bring it to them. Or grab a chair, whichever. All right, so if you're using the pole, pull in the opposite hand of the leg you're gonna grab. That makes sense. All right, so we're gonna root, let's see, I'm gonna switch sides. Root that foot into the floor, grab this foot or ankle of the other side. And then the most important thing here is that knee is pointing towards the floor. If we're out here, not really doing it. So it's got to be down here to get that. The other thing I want you to look at is your shoulders. So if you are grabbing your foot, I'll go sideways, and you're like this, it's not working. You want to be up tall, shoulders back. And then that's going to get this whole front of that thigh. All right. You guys got this? If you want to go deeper on this, we're going to point the knee towards that back wall. So we're kind of coming into, I want to say, fulcrum with that leg that's straight. And again, if the knee's out there, it's not doing it for you. Want that knee in line with the hip socket. Excellent. Coming out nice and slow, point the knee towards the floor and release the foot, and you can shake it out. All right, other side. So you may have started with the easy side. Either way, we're going to do the next side. All right. So use your strap, use your chair, grab your foot or ankle, pointing that knee towards the floor. We don't want to be out to the side. Straight down, and then check your shoulders up and back. Take a couple breaths here. And then if you want to, point that knee towards that back wall. Excellent. And then to come out nice and slow, point the knee towards the floor first, and then release the leg. Shake it out. I don't know, what's easier, Warrior 3 or Dancer? Warrior 3 is easier? Okay. All right, what else do we need to do? Let's do a pyramid pose. So again, you can do this without the pole. Options with the pyramid pose. Let's see. So without the pole, you can do all right. So with pyramid pose, I'll show you the feet first. They're both pointing towards the narrow end of the mat. And they can be on either side of this invisible center line on your mat. If that's too wobbly, move them out towards the sides so you've got more of a stable base. And this is similar to triangle in that front knee is supposed to be straight. Obviously, bend it as much as you need. Options with the hands. So you can do folding forward, hands at the heart, hands at the hips. If you have some wrist and shoulder flexibility, reverse prayer hands. So those are options without the pole. So with the pole, two options. One, hold it with one hand and then fold forward. And then difficult level, highest level, coming down like that. Okay? Guys ready? You picked your poison? All right. So we're going to inhale and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. We'll do 3 times each side. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. And last time, exhale. And inhale. Nice. Arms down by your side, bend the front knee, step the feet together, shake it out. Phew. All right, other side. Guys ready? Here we go. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Nice. Last time. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale the arms down. Bend the knees, step the feet together, shake it out. All right. I feel like it's too hot to do chair pose. All right. We're going to skip chair pose. Unless you really want to do it. No, nobody wants to do it. Okay, we're skipping it. Hooray. Okay, let's do around the world instead. All right, so pole in one hand. If you don't need the pole, awesome. You don't have to use it. So you can have this other hand on the hip or down that side body. And we're just going to go Let's do 6 times. We'll go forward and then switch legs and then backwards and then switch legs. Okay, so here we go. So forward, up to noon, and then out to the side, down to 6, back to center. Two more. And last one. Awesome. All right, let's go forward with the other foot. Noon, 6, back to center. Two more. And last one. Nice. All right, let's go back to the first foot and we're going to go back and around. So 6 o'clock, noon, back to center. Two more. And last one. Nice. All right, switching sides. 6 o'clock, noon, back to center. Two more. And last one. Excellent. All right. Let's do our DUI practice. I'm not going to practice getting drunk, but we're going to practice the walk. All right. So I'm going to start going backwards because I'm up at the top of the mat. So we're just going to walk and bring the foot behind us. And if you can do this without the pole, awesome. If not, that's why they're there. And try and do, and then go forward and back a couple times. And see if you can do it without looking at your feet. And maybe tightrope. I fell. Okay. But now I'm not watching my feet, but I'm watching the screen. I think I do it better backwards than forwards. I don't know. It depends on if I'm in Wheaton or Naperville. We'll see. All right. Let's see. Let's do one more. You guys can pick, and then we'll come down to the floor.
Let's do this.
Ooh, okay. Love it. All right. So we're going to do ankle biters. That's what we call them. All right. So we're basically strengthening the ankles, just side to side with the feet. So if you don't need the pole, that's fine. Go all the way down, come all the way back. Excellent. All right. So, if you want to come down to a squat, you can do that. Or if you just want to sit on the floor, maybe get a drink of water before you come down. All right, I'm gonna switch my mat sides. All right. All right, so we're gonna come all the way down to the spine. And first order of business, let's do our one-legged Apanasana. So we're gonna exhale one knee in. On the inhale, foot comes down to the floor. And then other side. Excellent. Do one more time each side or finish off evenly. Bless you. All right. So I don't know if we've done this lately or not, but we're going to do extended Apanasana. I'm sure there's a different name for it, but that's what I'm going to call it. So we're going to bend both knees, bring them in towards the chest, hands on the knees. So this is our start pose or neutral. On the exhale, knees come in deeper towards the chest. On the inhale, we're keeping the shins parallel to the floor and sending the feet away from the torso. And then exhale, bring them back in. Inhale, send them out. So if you have back issues, don't go very far, just maybe an inch or two. So this is going to work that deep core. Excellent. All right. Hug the knees in towards the chest on the exhale. On the inhale, hands up overhead, feet up towards the ceiling. And then if you want, you can point and flex the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Excellent. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Excellent. All right. Let's bring the feet down to the mat, arms out to the side. And then we're going to do windshield wipers here. So 3 options. Regular ones, just side to side with the knees. Second option, external rotation. One knee stays in place and then the other one drops out to the side. Inhale, bring it up, and then exhale, the other leg goes out to the side. Inhale, bring it up. So external rotation. Nice. And then third option is internal rotation. Feet go wide towards the sides of the mat, and then one knee drops in, and then inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, the other knee drops in. Inhale, bring it back up. So any of those 3, do the one you don't like, because that's the one you need. Excellent. All right, release whichever one you're doing. Let's go ahead and do another round of Apanasana. Excellent. Okay, so next we're gonna do, I don't know what the name of it is. I'm gonna call it open book pose. All right, so we're gonna roll over onto our side, both arms out in front. If you have your blanket or a towel and you wanna use that, oh, too far away. You can put your head on a block or a blanket. All right, so arms are straight out in front, knees are bent, and we're gonna inhale and open the top arm up and over as far as it'll go, and then exhale, bring it back. And 2, 3, or 4, or 5. Excellent. Let's finish with one more. And then rolling over to the other side. Both arms straight out in front, knees are bent. We're going to inhale, open as far as it'll go without hurting. Exhale, bring it back. Excellent. One more. Nice. All right, so let's come back onto the spine again. I'm going to do one more twist here. All right, so arms out to the side. Left foot comes to the center of the mat. Cross the right leg over the left. And then we're going to drop both knees to the left. And you can turn the head left, center, or right. Excellent. On your next inhale, bring the knees up to center. And then exhale, keep the cross and drop the knees to the right. And the head can turn left, center, or right. Excellent. Both knees come to center. Uncross, right foot to the center of the mat, cross the left leg over the right, drop the knees to the left, and the head can look left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale the knees to center. Exhale, drop them to the right. And the head can look left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, both knees to center, uncross. And then let's do a final round of Apanasana, center up the spine. And then I'm going to recommend wide-legged Apanasana, but whichever one is your favorite, you can do that. Exhale, knees in, inhale, knees out. Finish the one you're on and do 2 more. And then let's bring feet down to the mat. Option to keep knees bent, feet on the floor, or extend the legs all the way straight out. We're going to finish with palm tree pose. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Finish the one you're on and do one more. And then getting ready for our final relaxation pose. Knees can be bent, feet on the mat, legs straight out, whatever is comfortable. Getting any last little wiggles out. I'm going to sit up so you can hear me better. And let's do a full body relaxation, walking up the body, relaxing each part as we go, starting with the feet. Relax the toes. Relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way. Let's finish with lotus breath. All right. So pinky together, thumb together, bottom of the hand is together. We're going to inhale, open, exhale, close. 4 times. Ready? Here we go. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. And inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. And one last time. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Hands together at the heart, and namaste. Namaste. Thanks, gang. All right, don't overheat.
Aren't you going down south?
Yeah.
Because it's not hot enough here.